Hi, Amanda.
Hey, Bob.
You're good to go.
Thank you. Hello, and welcome to the April 17th meeting of the Northborough Historic District Commission. My name is Bob Light, Chair. Now, to get some rules out of the way, pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to the extending certain COVID-19 measures, this meeting will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. The order allows the Historic District Commission to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. All members of the Historic District Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. This meeting will not feature public comment. Each vote taken this evening will be conducted by a roll call vote. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Brian Smith.
Aye.
Leslie Harrison.
Aye.
Brian Swanson.
Here.
Amanda Millette.
Aye.
And I'm Bob Light. I'm here. Welcome. First order of business is to approve the minutes from the last meeting. I sent those around. Did anyone have any changes, corrections? Okay. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes of the March 20th meeting?
I swear that they're good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
make a motion, but I can't vote because I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay,
yeah.
anyone else? Okay,
I
so,
can't vote either.
I need to recuse myself. So I could probably
Okay.
make a motion,
So
but
I
I can't
second
vote.
then,
okay,
because I was
Amanda
there.
seconds. Brian Smith makes the motion. Okay, and let's go around the room. So Brian Smith is, how do you vote?
Aye.
Brian Swanson, you're abstain.
I wasn't here yet.
Okay, and Leslie,
I have to abstain as well.
Amanda,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So the minutes passed.
Who wants to send that to the clerk? Do you want to do that this time?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Okay. First order of business is the reappointment to Northborough Historic District Commission. I noticed that at the this was the last meeting of the select board that Leslie and Brian Swanson and Tom Reardon were reappointed. You're all aware of that, I assume.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we had
So-
to say we wanted to be reappointed and then we got,
Right, and it was voted.
Yep.
So congratulations for
Thank
another
you.
3-year term.
oh, I think we have to go, do we have to go get sworn in again?
Yeah, that's what it said.
Yes.
I did.
You know, I realize I can't find the letter. I don't know what I did with it, but yeah, I usually have to go get sworn in.
Yes, you do. Okay, I want to get this out of the way too, is I'd like to get back to an April vote of officers of the commission. I think that historically it always has been April. So I know the last I think it was July when we had the last vote. So if we go back to the schedule, this would be for a term of officers for July of this year to July of 2025.
If you're willing to be nominated again, I would like to nominate you. Bob?
Yes, you may. So
Okay,
could I have a
I nominate
nomination
Bob.
for chair?
Yes.
Who would that be?
Second.
Okay. Okay, fine. So can I have a a vote for any other nominations? No takers.
You should be so lucky.
Okay.
No, but you've been doing an amazing job, seriously. Like,
Yeah,
Well, thank you. Let's see if I get
warm
the
shoes were pretty big to step into, and you've filled them out quite nicely.
Thank you. Okay, so Brian Smith,
yes, What-
Leslie,
yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I vote in favor of Bob being our illustrious leader.
okay,
Chair.
Brian, you said yes.
Yes,
Brian Swanson,
Yes.
Amanda,
Yes.
do I vote? Okay, and I accept and thank you for your confidence.
Thank you.
Now, for vice chair, any nominations? Can
I nominate Leslie.
Very good. Second,
Second.
okay, Leslie, are you all set with that?
Yep.
Any
And
other nominations? Okay, Brian Smith,
yes,
Brian Swanson,
Yes.
Amanda,
Yes.
Leslie,
yes,
thank you. And I vote enthusiastically yes.
thank
Okay,
you.
so that passes. Now, do I have a nomination for secretary?
Brian has been serving as secretary, Brian Swanson.
Yes,
yeah,
I nominate Brian Swanson to continue.
good. Second,
yes,
okay. Okay, Brian Smith,
yes,
Leslie,
Yep.
Amanda,
Yes.
Brian Swanson,
Yeah.
thank you. And I vote enthusiastically yes. So Brian Swanson will remain as secretary. Thank you all. Okay, so moving along, for old business under CPA projects, just very briefly, the library historic marker, I do not believe has been put up yet. And I just checked back with Jen Bruno, I think, at the as library director. I haven't heard back from her yet. I'm not exactly sure where they want to put it. I assume it's going to be on Main Street, but it could also be around back by the parking lot entrance. So I'll try to follow up on that, but that should be put up shortly. And the second item is the Howard Street National Register status update. And again, we didn't expect to hear yet. Hopefully by next meeting, I'll have some more news on that. Leslie, did you want to say anything about the warped sign at the Howard Street?
Yeah, Andy said they're going to replace it.
Right.
It had taken a lower priority to other signs or other stuff in town, which made sense. But he seems to be. I haven't gotten clarity on whether there are others.
Okay. Yeah, he said it, his email, he said it was back on track and it should be swapped out in about a month.
Yep. But we're still not sure if there are others. I haven't had a chance to go around and see if there are others that are warped, but
Yeah, I haven't seen it. All I know is that the Brigham Street it looks okay.
oh, good. Okay. Yeah, the other two are pretty new. The Howard Street ones or the Kaiser section ones are pretty new.
Right.
Okay, for the next item is the committee representatives updates. First one is the Community Preservation Committee. And
I would
that
love to continue unless somebody else would like to take over.
No, I didn't know that was up for a vote.
Oh, isn't that what you were talking about?
No, I'm talking about updates on the CPC.
Nothing new since the last meeting. We've got a town meeting on Monday. It's gonna probably be 2 nights, so Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fiery one. This one.
Oh, yeah.
One of the agenda items, I'm going to cover some of the articles that might have bearing on the Historic District
Yeah, I
Commission.
saw that. That's great.
So we'll
talk
go
about
through
this.
that. Okay, good, thank you.
When do
The
we
ma-
do the assignments, though? Don't we do it at the same time as the officers, the subcommittee representation?
I don't know. Do you, I didn't realize that was something that needed to be voted on, but we can go ahead and do
Yeah,
that.
because other people should get an opportunity to do it if they want to.
Sure,
Shouldn't
okay.
be-
Yeah, okay. Well, then for CPC, is that something you would want to continue if someone would?
Absolutely, yeah, I'd love to continue,
If
but
they
I want
nominate you,
anybody else,
okay.
if anybody else wants an opportunity.
Okay, can I have a nomination then for,
Well, is anybody else interested in serving on
No.
the CPC?
but in fact, you can't.
I mean, your
you
cat
can't
does,
just-
Amanda?
Yeah, right.
I see them wave their tail, so.
But you can't just, we wouldn't vote on putting someone on CPC. That would have to go through the CPC.
No,
Yeah.
each, you assign someone, you assign representatives.
Oh, okay. Good point. Okay, well then,
So I've
Any
been the
other
assigned
nominations?
yeah, I've been so yeah, the subcommittees, the subcommittee or the committees just tell the CPC who the representatives are from their committee.
okay, I see. So any other nominations for CPC representation? Hearing none. Do I have a motion to have Leslie continue as the CPC representative?
So
Motion
moved.
to continue.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And second, good.
Uh,
So
who
we
seconded it?
have Brian Smith.
I
Brian made the
motion,
motion.
yeah, I motion.
Oh, so you can't vote. Well, we're
No,
voting.
no.
No,
No, we
but
have a
two-
second. Amanda seconded.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so we're all set? So
Yep.
now to vote, Brian Smith,
Yep. Yes,
Leslie,
Sure.
continue, great, thank you. Brian Swanson,
Yes,
Amanda,
Yes.
and Bob Light votes yes. Thank you,
Great, thank
Leslie.
you.
Continuing. The next one, it would be then the master plan implementation, which is
Just
Millie.
Millie.
And
Should we
Millie-
wait since she's not here?
Yeah, we'll table that. I think that's a good idea. I actually spoke to Millie about the officers to see if she had any suggestions there, but I didn't ask her about whether she wanted to continue. So we'll move on. And then in terms of the master plan implementation committee, since Millie's not here, I guess we don't have any updates for that.
Did you
You
see the
have-
update there was an email update, the agenda for tomorrow night?
Oh, okay. I don't,
Oh, you don't get that? Oh, I probably get it because I'm on the CPA.
yeah, I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, it looks like CPA. So I can just tell you quickly, their agenda for tomorrow night is come on over here. Hold this. Downtown beautification, planters, landscape improvements within ROW, what's ROW, something of work. Communication with Mass DOT and funding, and then a discussion of adopt a street tree program. Input from Tower Hill. Update on the status of the town office's feasibility study. They're going to make their committee recommendation, which I don't know if you folks saw that, but I saw on Facebook that it looks like they're recommending White Cliffs.
no kidding.
For town hall?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah, while we're talking, I can see if I can find anything in writing on that, but so I thought that was interesting. So you haven't heard anything about that, Bob?
I knew it was under consideration. I didn't know that was selected.
Yeah, I think that's their recommendation. And then update on phase 1 of the downtown revitalization project, the Blake Pier Streets that's the stuff that got approved for ARPA funds. And then discussion of the 2020 master plan implementation plan matrix, feedback on experience, the matrix, and then old new business, but those are the biggies.
Okay. My understanding of the town hall plan was that White Cliffs would be restored. The new additions like the kitchen and some of the newer additions would be taken down. And then there'd be a new building with a walkway attached to it, and the new building would essentially be the town hall offices.
Oh, is that what, I mean, I know they were talking about that when they were talking about housing, right? They were gonna, oh, no, you're right. Yes.
Right, so
Yeah.
it looked like a nice design
Yeah,
when I
good.
saw. It would be a more of a modern type office building, and then some of the White Cliffs would be used for offices. Plus, it would be a multi-use town facility,
Nice, huh? Wow.
which I think solves the problem for us in making sure that White Cliffs remains.
Yeah, it would be incredible.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find, yeah, we're talking, I'll, master plan, yeah, master plan, yeah, there's a website here, so. Um. Anyway, I don't want to hold things up, but I'll poke around and see if I can find anything in writing that actually says that that's what they are recommending.
Yeah, my understanding is that the costs of each of the proposals were roughly the same. And whereas the White Cliffs might have been slightly more expensive, when you take into effect how much it's costing the town just to maintain an empty
They,
lot, it would actually turn out to be cheaper.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
Very good.
Minutes, here are the minutes, okay.
Okay. Anything else on that implementation? Anything else? No? Okay, so we're all, okay, so moving on. The Northborough Revolution 250, that's a ad hoc committee that Brian Smith and I are on. It's not a formal town committee, so I don't think we need to take a vote as to
Yeah.
representation, if that's okay with everyone, since it's not a
Yeah.
town committee. So just to so the meeting had been delayed. The normal April meeting, I'm sorry, the March meeting was actually delayed until April 10th last week. But we're gonna have another meeting at the end of April, in our normal scheduled time, which is the fourth Wednesday of the month. And just a couple things, they're contracting there's apparently an organization that commemorates the Knox artillery train that passed through Northborough. And that we're trying to contact that organization. There's also the 100th anniversary of the Lafayette tour. I guess after the after Revolutionary War, 50 years later, Lafayette came through Northborough in 1825. So apparently there is a committee that will provide free commemorative markers.
Mm,
And Norm Corbin is looking into that. Apparently, we have a record that he did pass through town, but we have to have some evidence that he actually stayed in town for whatever reason, maybe had dinner. So if we can get some record, maybe from an old newspaper article, then we can get a commemorative sign for Lafayette's tour. So if anyone can think of anything, that would be good. I think we'll go back through some of the newspaper archives, or see if there's any other evidence that Lafayette stayed in town or at least stopped in town. But the records show that he came through on June 15th, 1825. So it would be about that time. So we reviewed priorities for 2024. The main thing in 2024, because there's less things to commemorate, would be an outreach to try to get more members and more volunteers. There would be a community advocate article. There's talk about cable access TV short stories, short of, 5 or 10 minutes, commemorating various aspects of Northborough's role in the revolution. First one might be the Northborough Tea Party. And we also have to plan on getting a banner for the Memorial Day Parade and Apple Fest. And I might, depending on the funding, these banners are relatively cheap, maybe $100. So in a future meeting, I might have to come to the commission, see if we can get a vote on spending those funds.
Yeah, we were looking for a reason for a purpose for the funds.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We have the
Great.
money, so
Yeah.
that might be by the next meeting, I should be able to have the
That'd be great.
size picked out.
Just quickly, I did find, so it was posted March 28th in the Cliffs Preservation. It says, last night, the town offices committee voted to recommend the White Cliffs be converted to the new town offices with an estimated cost of $45 million.
Oh, good. I do understand that we could be talking many years out before that.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. And then Norm actually commented on this and said, keep in mind, this was a feasibility study to determine if a new or updated town hall could be located on property the town already owns. The primary result of the study is that 4 West Main Street and the current fire station site are not viable. This means they could be sold off. There's no commitment for a new or upgraded town hall from this study. So anyway.
Wow.
Good. And and the other thing about the Revolution 250 is one of the action items, I think it's one of my action items, is to try to explore getting a Revolutionary War memorial. It turns out if you go back through our preservation plan, there's a list of war memorials in town, and it covers pretty much every war except the Revolutionary War.
Oh.
So we think it would be very appropriate to have some sort of a memorial. It doesn't have to be a big involved memorial, but something that is for the Northborough Minutemen and the Northborough men. I think there was 124 men from Northborough that fought in the Revolutionary War. So one of our action items is to try to coordinate this with maybe the American Legion in town. And this, to me, would be appropriate for CPA funding. So we do plan on getting a proposal in to the CPA in the fall proposal stage.
So you think about trying to incorporate it at the Town Common Memorial or the one by Blake Street?
We haven't really thought that through.
Okay, those are sort of our two big.
What about, Bob, could I suggest doing it in front of the town hall with the Minuteman statue?
Oh, that's a good point. There's Minuteman statue, sure.
And just kind of, you've already got that there. If you just put up like a plaque or something as well to commemorate them.
Okay. And Leslie, you mentioned what?
Well, so there are two, as far as I know, there are 2 areas with more war memorials so far, which is the Town Common has a section, and then is it the Vietnam? Is it just Vietnam War that's over by
Like
on
off
Blake
Pierce,
Street?
Blake and Pierce.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a list here.
I think it might
right,
be.
it's on Pierce Street. Yeah, Pierce near Hudson Street, actually.
Okay, there's the World War I memorial is corner of Church and Whitney.
Mhm.
And the
Okay.
World War II Korean Vietnam War is the corner of Pierce and Hudson.
Okay, yeah, that's the one. Okay,
Okay,
and then the Town Common.
right. And there's a Veterans Monument at Howard Street and a Gulf Wars Monument on 45 West Main.
Oh, so they are spread all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I like Amanda's idea of putting it near the Minuteman. The only thing is that Town Hall moves that, but if we're talking about just a plaque, it'd be easy to move to.
I'm sure they're going to move if the town hall were to do something, go
Yeah.
somewhere else, I'm sure they would move that Minuteman.
That Minuteman was actually a gift from the Maney family.
Yeah.
The 302 church, they actually owned that. And they
Really?
use it. Yeah, so they donated it to the town years ago.
Oh, okay. There's also a Civil War monument on 45 West Main.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, good suggestions. We're really in the early stages of this. So. All right, that's all I have for the Revolution 250. The Fire Station Building Committee, that would be Tom would report on that. I think they're meeting tonight. That's why he's not here. He said he would join us if it ended early. Does anyone have anything on the fire station? I know it's a long way off, but something we'll track. Anything else? Any other committee representation? Okay, hearing none. For new business, just a quick update on the Legacy Tree Program from the last meeting. I was able to get some really fascinating information about the P.H. Perrin, who owned the Westboro Nursery that supplied the beech tree, the purple beech to Wesson. And the Westboro Historical Commission sent me some really fascinating information. One was a ledger from Wesson, from Perrin, and it listed the trees that he sold to Wesson.
Wow.
And it was
Those
amazing.
are really cool. Everything you said was incredible.
Three purple beeches for $4.50 and 2 maple trees for $2 total. So thought that was good. Anyway, I also got information from them. His name was Payson, by the way. And his nursery was along Ruggles Street, which goes into the center of town. It's south of the center of town. And it's just south of the Westboro High School sports field.
Hmm.
And I think it was like 34 acres.
Oh.
And he died in 1890. He sold the trees to Wesson in 1885. He died in 1890, and there's a record of the nursery being in operation until I think 1909. And then there was no records, and then eventually the land was sold off in a subdivision. So I think his original house is still on Ruggles, or the original land, but the other houses there were some new houses there. So I thought that was interesting, and I was
Yeah.
appreciative of the Westboro Historical Commission to supply that information for me. Okay. There was some talk about the historic home at 302 Church. There's nothing to report there. I think the owners are they've been in touch with other town officials about preservation plans. So we'll leave it at that unless anyone has anything else about that.
Nothing that, can be discussed really. My impression is that the house is going on the market though.
Right, but I don't think it's on the market yet, and if it is subdivided, there's a lot of land there.
Right.
Hopefully the house will remain.
Mhm.
Next on the item is we discussed the Trinity Church preservation projects that they were looking for funding, and one of the ideas was to create a historic district around the church and possibly other properties on Main Street, that are contiguous, like some of the Gale properties next door. I have nothing new to report on that. I do need to do some homework as to what it would take to create a historic district.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
I created one with I forget a name, but I created one and it was easy. So it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was this for the Whitney house on the
Yes.
parsonage on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm forgetting her name too, but yeah, the
Oh, so
Whitney
you-
parsonage right here, Norm's house.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we have a historic district, which is the Whitney House.
Yes.
It's a single house historic
Yeah.
district.
Yep.
Oh, you
The
were
20
involved in that.
Yes,
Oh, okay, good. Well, if it might be a relatively easy thing to do the church. My idea was to, if possible, incorporate some other property nearby, where that might be a little more difficult, trying to
Yeah.
get permission. But I'll follow up with the church and see
Yeah.
what the plans are. And then Brian, I might ask you for some guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next,
Marie. Her name was Marie.
yes, yeah,
Can't
Neighbor.
pronounce, but she does. Actually, she was on the historic. She was on historic at the time, right?
yeah, yeah,
You know, when I first came, she was still on historic, and then she got ill. She was ill, and
yeah.
sorry. Anyway, sorry.
okay, let me just 1 second. All right, so next on the agenda is where I had talking about the bylaw change related to historic signs. I expanded that to cover some of the articles that will be at town meeting that may or may not have any bearing on the Historic District Commission, to make sure that we can go through it and people are aware of what we have to be mindful of. So let me see if I can share my screen. Find it. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just listed the articles, and there may be more, but I listed the articles where these are articles that we should be aware of. Whether there's a position that we should take as a historic district commission or not is up for debate. But the first one, Article 40, has to do with the acquisition of 432 Whitney. I think that's fairly straightforward. I'm not sure if I don't think there's any historic structures there. But I think it would be contiguous to some state reservation land also. Okay. The Article 43 has to do with the CPA request for the First Parish steeple. We've discussed that at previous meetings, and that would obviously that's part of the historic district. It would not encompass anything that would affect the exterior of the building appearance. It would be mostly interior. So we'll follow that. Article 44 is our proposal for the aqueduct sign replacement. Hopefully that will go through without any problems.
Yeah.
Article 45 relates to the standard CPA, the White Cliffs debt service. The one I will discuss a little further is Article 49 and 50 that has to do with the zoning map and bylaw changes, and this relates to the MBT. It's a typo. MBTA community zoning mandate. So that's a controversial state regulation that that all the towns that are either on or next to a commuter rail line has to have a zoning area that is for multifamily housing. So that's up for discussion. And while we're on that, I have gotten some letters from citizens that was addressed to the Historic District Commission to see if we would be against the downtown zone. There's a lot of resistance to the downtown multifamily housing because of issues of traffic, other issues. As it relates to historic district, historical commission, it's not, our concern should be the preservation of historic property.
Yeah.
Historic buildings, and other than that, in terms of things like traffic and things like that, would really be up to individuals to vote their conscience, as opposed to getting the commission to take a stand. We can discuss that, but let me just show you what we're talking about. So this is these lines may not be very accurate, but it's a clear picture of what they're talking about in this downtown zone. And one of the things to remember is that the Harvey's property, which is here, the new proposed zone would not go all the way to Main Street. So the only part, so most of the multifamily zoning area that's being proposed would be along Hudson, including the Maytech facility and the Harvey's facility. But it doesn't cover all of the Harvey's facility down to Main Street. The only part that would cover Main Street would be the town hall. So if town hall was part of it, that conceivably could be converted into multifamily housing. The more accurate map, I believe, is that's
It's coming.
Perrin, by the way. There's Perrin, and we don't know who that is. I think it might be his daughter. Okay, so there's a more accurate map. And again, it shows the Wesson property, the Harvey
Maytech?
property
No, the
there.
Harvey. No, yep.
Sorry,
Yeah, Harvey.
Harvey's property, but it doesn't cover the Harvey's property down to Main Street.
Yeah.
And this is the town hall. Okay, we're back. So any comments about that? I don't think it would be my recommendation that this is not something that the commission should take a stand on in one way or another.
No, it's not.
Obviously anything that happens, according to Lori Connors, anything that happened would, for instance, there was an old mill that was demolished on the Maytech property. And if that land were made available, it's doubtful at this point because Maytech seems to be expanding. But if that land were available for multifamily housing, it would, it would basically not cause any demolition. And I imagine one issue would be the town hall, which is a historic building. And would that be converted into multifamily housing, or would it be demolished? So these are all issues that we would have to be concerned with, but at this point, I don't think there's much to do. I think one of the issues is whether they're going to whether the town is going to vote to have a downtown zoning, multifamily zoning area. The other zoning area would be down by the Avalon Apartments and Route 9. So I don't think there'd be any objections to that. It would also include the old hotel at the corner of Route 9 and Route 20. As well as I think the ball field across from.
That hotel's still active though. The Econo Lodge is still.
Right, but that's going to be part of the zoning area.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
Whether they're going to buy it or not, I don't know.
Got it. Okay.
And then there's that, the ball field across the way. I think that's also going to be part of it. So that is, go back to my original list. Okay, the Article 58 regards the design review bylaw changes. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at those. I don't see anything that is of concern to us, but it could be. And then if I could skip down to Article 63, there is a citizens petition to eliminate this design review committee. Any comments on that? Or
I'd be really curious what Tom Reardon's his opinion is, because he used to be on it.
Yeah,
It's tricky.
my understanding of Article 58 would be that the membership of the design review committee would have to have an architect on it, I believe. And maybe someone with landscaping experience.
And that's typically what they've had. Tom was on it, Dave Aaron was on it. Michelle Gillespie was on it as a realtor. It used to have pretty good representation, and things have kind of changed over the last few years for a variety of reasons.
Well, okay, so that's again, the town has a very nice website now. The Tim McElhaney
McInerney,
has a-
McInerney.
McInerney, sorry, has a very good little website for the town administrator, and it has a list of all the articles and explanation. And
That
there's
was
also-
incredible. Yeah, he did YouTube videos on.
And
it's
the YouTube
incredible.
videos
Yeah, it
explains it, so that's very good.
was really nice.
So, okay. Then the one that really is of interest to us is Article 61, and that's the bylaw change for signs. And it does, this is actually very good. It is under bylaw 7009-40, paragraph K10. It says that a permit, normally permits are required for any signs. A permit is not required for the following types of signs, and it adds a paragraph that says historic signs, markers, and municipal plaques, signs and markers signifying historical importance and municipal plaques shall not be subject to this bylaw and shall be permitted in all districts without permit. So
That's
that's
basically making us retroactively legitimate, because I don't think we've ever gone to the building
Right,
inspector
and-
before.
And the interesting thing is that we've been doing this without going through the formal.
That's why I'm saying it's retroactively forgiving us.
But apparently this is consistent with other town bylaws, and that's why the change was made. The one criticism I would have is that we weren't notified of that this was happening. It just happened to show up in the bylaw, in the articles.
Yeah, the planning board should really notify every committee that's going to be affected by.
That's gonna be affected, right? So, but this is good, and it certainly makes sense.
That's a good thing to mention to Millie, though.
Okay. And Article 62 is, we discussed this, the Harrington Lane street acceptance. And again, it goes back to the bylaws that talk about the permission that's needed by the Historic District Commission in any new street name. Turns out Harrington is a historical name, and it's on the approved list, so everything is fine. And Article 64 is basically a status report for the Fire Station Building Committee. So that's a list that I put together for things, for the articles that would have some possible historic significance.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
You're talking about the trees. I've just had a flashback when we first bought our house back in 1982. We coincidentally donated to, who was the Arbor Foundation? I forget who it was, but you donate money and you get like 10 trees. So I pictured like a truck pulling up with these, trees with root ball, and a little tube, like the size of like a paper tube, showed up with 10 little saplings. Literally, it was like, the 10 together were maybe 3 inches in diameter. So maybe
Yeah,
that's
I
what those
wonder-
beech trees were like.
I wonder about the beech tree that Perrin delivered, because he did talk about having to have a horse and a wagon. So it must have been
Probably bigger than our
Yeah,
ones we
probably
got.
bigger. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I think at this point, I don't think we'll go into, remember, keep looking at chapter 7 of the Historic Preservation Plan for ideas for new projects. Lastly, are there any other issues before the commission?
I confess I've not had a chance to go through.
Okay, but anything else that I missed or? Okay, the next meeting will be our typical third Wednesday of the month in May. That would make it May 22nd.
15th.
You're right. You're right. It's May 15th. Good catch. And I think we'll do a Zoom meeting again, if that's okay with everyone. Okay. Still haven't learned anything about doing a hybrid meeting yet, but that's going to probably be coming.
I hope you never do.
It sounds like it's more work than it's worth. It's either in present or hybrid, but anyway, we'll do what we have to do. There is also talk about I haven't heard, but Brian, you should be aware of this, Brian Swanson. They're talking about having uniform minutes of meetings of the various commissions and committees. And they're going to send something around at some point, but that hasn't happened yet. And I think it's more going to be guidelines as opposed to a mandate. Your minutes are excellent, so I don't think we need to do anything there.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
okay. Brian Smith,
I accept.
Leslie,
Yes, let's leave.
Brian Swanson,
Yep.
Amanda,
Yes.
and I vote to adjourn. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And